Welcome to the Platform Engineering Playbook podcast, where everything you hear is built, reviewed, and improved by AI, by me, and by you, the listener. This show keeps me, and hopefully you, up to speed on the latest in platform engineering, SRE, DevOps, and production engineering. It's a living experiment in how AI can help us track, explain, and discuss the fast-moving world of infrastructure. Every episode is open source. If you've got something to add, correct, or challenge, head to platformengineeringplaybook.com. You'll find all the content and a link to the GitHub repo. Open a pull request, join the conversation, and make the playbook smarter. Let's get into it.
Today, we're diving into some uncomfortable data. The 2024 DORA report found that organizations with dedicated platform teams saw throughput decrease by 8% and change stability decrease by 14%.
Wait, that's backwards. Platform engineering is supposed to accelerate development, not slow it down.
Exactly. And yet Gartner predicts that 80% of large software engineering organizations will have platform teams by 2026. So what's going on here?
The Atlassian Developer Experience Report adds more context. 69% of developers lose 8 or more hours per week to inefficiencies. That's 20% of their work week just gone.
For a 1,000-developer organization, that translates to roughly $17 million annually in lost productivity. These aren't small numbers.
So the question becomes, why are so many platform investments actually making things worse? And that's what we're going to unpack today. 10 anti-patterns that are sabotaging platform engineering initiatives.
Let's start with the organizational anti-patterns. First up, what I call ticket ops, the bottleneck factory.
This one is everywhere. Developers submit tickets for infrastructure provisioning. Need a new environment? Open a ticket. Updated dependency. Ticket. Change a configuration. You guessed it, another ticket.
And wait times can stretch to a week or more for tasks that should take minutes. Humanitech puts it bluntly. Ticket ops is draining your organization.
The irony is that organizations implement this because they mistake process for governance. Tickets feel like control. They create audit trails and approval chains that satisfy compliance checklists.
But they destroy velocity. The fix is self-service with guardrails, not gatekeepers. Zalando's you build it, you run it philosophy transformed their platform from bottleneck to accelerator.
The second anti-pattern is the ivory tower platform. Teams disconnected from developer reality.
Platform teams that operate in isolation, creating abstract guidelines and architectural standards that look elegant on paper, but don't survive contact with production. One enterprise architecture critique I read described it as architects sitting in their ivory towers making pronouncements that most of the time no one listens to. The fix is what I call the architect elevator model, continuously moving between strategy and implementation, hands-on pair programming with application teams. If your platform team hasn't pair programmed with an application developer in the last month, you're building in an ivory tower.
The third is platform as bucket. Manuel Pais from Team Topologies nails this one. He says it's an anti-pattern he sees very often where the platform becomes a bucket for everything and just becomes a huge mess with lack of ownership, lack of focus, and a lot of waste.
This happens when platform teams are measured by market share. How many teams use the platform? That incentivizes adding everything instead of consolidating around core value.
Platform team burnout is real. When your platform roadmap has 47 P1 items, you don't have priorities, you have a bucket. The best platforms do a few things exceptionally well.
Fourth is mandatory adoption, making platforms mandatory to show adoption numbers to leadership.
This is tempting because it looks like success, but it closes the feedback loops you need to actually succeed. Forced usage hides resistance and breeds resentment.
There's a case study of a mid-sized tech firm that implemented mandatory IDP adoption without developer input. The result? Confusion, reduced productivity, and eventually they had to roll back to legacy systems.
Make adoption attractive, not mandatory. If you have to force developers onto your platform, that's a signal, not a strategy.
Now, let's move to the technical anti-patterns. Fifth is the golden cage, excessive standardization that blocks productivity.
Octopus Deploy captures this one perfectly. Golden cage results when platforms are designed with too many constraints, turning guidance into restrictions.
One-size-fits-all templates that accommodate no one, rigid workflows that prevent teams from solving problems their way. Developers spend more time bypassing the system than delivering value.
Octopus Deploy captures this one perfectly. Golden cage results when platforms are designed with too many constraints, turning guidance into restrictions.
Fix is designing golden paths to be optional, transparent, extensible, and customizable. Flexibility is the antidote to the golden cage.
The sixth anti-pattern is the over-engineered monolith. Platforms so complex that learning them becomes a project in itself.
Jay Jenkins from Akamai says, complexity is the enemy. If platform engineering is creating more toil than it's reducing, something is off. Platforms with unfamiliar configuration languages, sparse documentation, inconsistent APIs. The best platforms are almost invisible. Developers use them without thinking about them.
Start with a minimum viable platform. Expand based on measured developer pain, not anticipated needs. Optimize for developer time, not platform engineering elegance.
Seventh is front-end first, back-end never. Beautiful developer portals with manual processes underneath.
This one's wild. Port.io's 2024 research found that 35% of organizations still use spreadsheets with microservice data as their developer portal.
Teams ship a gorgeous portal with sleek UI, comprehensive documentation, impressive dashboards. Under the hood, manual processes, spreadsheets, and Slack messages to get anything done.
Build the back end before the front end. Prove your self-service APIs work. Any back-end automation is better than a beautiful facade over manual processes.
Eighth is the biggest bang trap, starting with the largest, most complex application to maximize ROI.
This fails because the platform team is learning on the hardest problem, the platform lacks capabilities you discover too late, and trust erodes when the flagship migration struggles.
Synthaso explains it well. Start small, build confidence, expand proven wins. Don't test your safety net with the highest trapeze.
Ninth is day one obsession. Platforms that excel at spinning up new applications, but abandon developers after that.
Octopus Deploy provides a sobering reality check. Of the time your team will invest in an application, the creation process is below 1%.
So optimizing day one is optimizing for less than 1% of the lifecycle. Day 2 through day 50, the ongoing operations, debugging, scaling, updates, incident response, that's where developers actually spend their time.
Build golden paths for the entire application lifecycle, not just scaffolding.
And 10th is build it and they will come. No adoption strategy at all.
Erica Huberg at KubeCon 2024 said it directly. Even the best products don't sell themselves. Expecting engineers to drive adoption without a clear marketing approach is a recipe for disaster.
Platform teams build elegant solutions, announce them in Slack, update the wiki, and wait for developers to flock to it. Months later, adoption is in the single digits.
The fix is treating your platform like a product that needs marketing, internal advocacy, storytelling, early adopter success stories. Firms monitoring adoption closely report 30% higher ROI on their platform initiatives.
So those are the 10 anti-patterns. But here's the important part. DORA explains that productivity decrease as typical of transformational efforts. They call it the J-curve effect.
Initial productivity hit before long-term gains, but only if you avoid these anti-patterns.
Right. The difference between platform success and failure isn't budget or talent. It's avoiding these traps, and every anti-pattern has a counter-strategy.
Let's talk about what successful teams do differently. Spotify and Zalando are the canonical examples.
Spotify built Backstage starting with the areas that, quote, really hurt. Their data shows that more frequent Backstage users are 2.3 times more active on GitHub. Clear correlation between platform engagement and productivity.
Zalando's transformation is even more instructive. They say one of the first steps was cultural, not technical. They changed hiring, onboarding, and workflows before building the platform.
The pattern is consistent.
Treat platform as product, not project. Developer is the customer. Measure satisfaction, not just adoption.
Practice the architect elevator. Move between strategy and implementation. Stay hands-on.
Self-service with guardrails. Zalando's you build it, you run it, not gatekeepers creating bottlenecks.
And stable priorities. DORA found that teams with stable priorities face 40% less burnout. In organizations with frequent priority shifts, 90% of teams experience productivity drops.
Stop churning your platform roadmap. Stability enables velocity.
Here's a quick audit checklist for listeners. Are your developers waiting more than one day for standard infrastructure requests? That's ticket ops.
Has your platform team pair programmed with application developers this quarter? If not, that's ivory tower risk.
Has your platform scope grown 3x in the last year without corresponding team growth? Platform as bucket.
Do you have one-size-fits-all templates with no extension points? Golden cage.
Beautiful portal, but developers still messaging in Slack for help? Front end first.
If you answer yes to 3 or more of these, your platform initiative is at serious risk.
The 84% failure rate for digital transformation isn't inevitable. These anti-patterns are recognizable and fixable.
Spotify and Zalando didn't succeed because they had bigger budgets or better engineers. They succeeded because they avoided these traps and treated their platforms as products serving developer customers.
That's the fundamental insight from the DORA data. Platform engineering can absolutely deliver the productivity gains everyone expects, but only if you build it right.
Start with the audit checklist. Identify which any patterns are present in your organization. Address them systematically. The 84% don't have to include you.
That's it for this episode of the Platform Engineering Playbook podcast. Every topic, transcript, and summary you just heard lives out in the open at platformengineeringplaybook.com, where anyone can suggest updates or add insights through GitHub. If you've got thoughts, fixes, or new ideas, open a PR. And if you enjoyed the episode, rate us on your favorite podcast platform. We're always shooting for 5 stars. While you're there, give the project a star on GitHub. It helps others find and contribute to the Platform Engineering Playbook. This podcast is generated by AI, reviewed by AI, me and you, a community of engineers keeping our craft sharp. Thanks for listening, and see you next time inside the Platform Engineering Playbook.